Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 between 120 and Romantic here on Last Refuge. We see 120 spawning as the purple undead on the top right hand side of the map, meanwhile Romantic spawning as the teal human on the bottom left. Once again, I do want to say thanks to all the support out there. I have been having a lot of fun casting these games, and this has really grown since, or from what I thought it would be 5 years ago. My wife saying, you know what, you need to find a better way of enjoying your games. I suggested casting as a joke, and well, she encouraged me to do it. So, well, honey, if you're listening, thank you very much. I know there is at least, I'd say 3,000 people, give or take, that enjoy how you encouraged me. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here into game number 2. Romantic already training up that Archmage, getting up that barracks, and gonna finish this wall off. The positioning on this map makes it very difficult to do any sort of harassment, even for a Blade Master who is typically an harass king. The very small choke points here and here, only needing 4 total buildings, and you being able to complete them well before the 2-minute mark, makes it so that harassment isn't a very viable option. Yes, you could try to squeeze in two skeletal minions on the other side, but that is difficult in and of itself, as we are already looking at the Death Knight making its rounds. Alright, now it seemed very odd, 120 going for a very fast Death Knight Destroyer Obsidian statue, purposely skipping his own purposely skipping his own Lich. Now, that was a risky move, and it did look like it might work after Romantic overextended in game number 1, but Romantic quickly recovered, and that economic advantage became too much. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going down here. The Inner Fire really showing its face here. 25% damage reduction. Very heavy damage reduction indeed, as the militia having a difficult time, and a handful of them falling at the hands or axes of this creep camp. Ogre Mauler gonna end up finishing here. Water Elemental being pulled off just enough to deal damage without tanking anymore, since it would have fallen, as the Archmage now sits at level 2 and wonders where it should move on to next. Death Knight not going to be able to find... Oh, there is a... Oh, the Peasant. The Peasant. Beautiful denial by Romantic, and natural regeneration. The real victor there, preventing the Death Knight from getting that kill. As that Death Coil was flying, it went from 100 hit points to 101 to eventually 102, and that was the problem there. So natural regeneration, a very big deal, as 120 now trying to deny some experience ends up giving a little bit more to that Archmage. Peasant now falling back, skeletal minions now pushing forth, and this is just not going to be a good spot to try and harass. Romantic has militia at his ready if he needs to. The Death Knight has not used the Death Coil yet, but he is purposely staying within earshot, or Death Coil shot essentially. There's the Death Coil, gets the kill there, and now on the board with 73 experience. That is a very small victory though, as 120 now needs to get more and more kills to try and catch up with the very fast militia lead that Romantic was able to get. And oh, is it going to get the kill? Yes, it does. So Death Knight now on the board with 113 experience, but will be forced to retreat and return back home, as he needs... as he needs to recover a bit after taking so much damage. Now remember, this is Last Refuge, not Secret Valley, meaning there is no, absolutely no fountains on this map. Yes, you can go ahead and return back to Blight, but what this Death Knight really wants to do is try and creep out this green creep camp off to the north, get Unholy Aura, and that might be enough. Instead, it looks like the Ogre Maulers are going to be paying a visit down by this Nerubian Tower, and this is also a viable strategy. As long as the Nerubian Tower does not deal the killing blow, you are pretty much in a good spot. Ogre Mauler taking a bit of damage there, Troll Berserker taking some damage as well. You can see the skeletal minions as the Troll Berserker down to 104 hit points. Are we going to see a shot there, a killing blow? Yes, we do. Death Knight now sitting at a little bit of experience shy of level 2. Meanwhile, the Archmage using Militia, able to clear out the 6 o'clock expansion location, and will be trying to get that economic lead once more. Now, 120 cannot allow things to get out of hand here. He needs to get to level 2, but he hasn't really done so yet. I'm not sure what happened to a couple of the Troll Berserkers, but that Inner Fire is still causing problems. You can see what Inner Fire does, essentially giving, I believe it's 30% more hit points, effective hit points, making it that much difficult to finish off units. Book of the Dead now picked up, and that is a very strong item. Some people say it's the Book of Wind. I'm not 100% sure that is going to be the case there, as the Forest Troll High Priest now going to get taken down as well. There you have it. Only the Ogre Mauler is left. 8 armor, 32% damage reduction. Essentially 48% more effective hit points as the Ogre Mauler finally goes down. Death Knight now picking up a sacrificial skull. What is he going to be doing next? You can see one footman. What is that going on there? That footman runs in, sees a whole bunch of units, and now it looks like the footman going to try and run away from a Nerubian tower. The skeletal minion may be able to finish him off if he's constantly slowed. 1 or 2 more shots should do it, but it looks like he will be able to get away. Back over here, Ogre Mauler and Ogre Warriors and Ogre Magi's trying to take down the Death Knight, but good use of Essence of Blight to get more hit points on that Death Knight. Death Knight now up to 330 hit points, still really beneficial there, as that footman looks like it will be able to escape. Potion of Invulnerability on the Death Knight, and that Death Knight looks like he is going to be a very serious threat as we see the Lich now come out. 120 purposely getting that Lich much earlier than in game number 1, as the Lich now grabs a Tome of Experience. 100 experience on the board. Death Coil onto the Archmage. Archmage in a little bit of trouble, now being forced to turn around and run away. However, an overcommitment to Crypt Fiends against this Death or Footman army could be a problem. The Footmen all realizing, hey, there's skeletal minions in here that I have to deal with as well. Let's just run for the border, as the Archmage, gets in another Death Coil. Death Coil, Archmage gets another Death Coil and a Frost Nova. However, the potion or the Scroll of Town Portal giving invulnerability, as we now see the Archmage drops another Water Elemental here. Book of the Dead now being used to try and win this fight. However, you can see that there is now an Arcane Tower. Archmage once more down to 17 hit points. There it goes. Lich now at level 2 on the board. Footman attempting to fight back here, as this is going extremely well for 120. 120 clearing things, or clearing units one at a time. However, the Footman now chasing after those Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends now backing off here, as 120 is still trying to keep its units alive. As long as he can keep these units alive, and it looks like he is doing exactly that, that is going to be enough. And this is really reminiscent of Ted's tier 2 push, just pushing with the Lich and the Frost Nova and Obsidian statues, that the Fen still starting to really hurt his hurt the Romantics Footman, and I believe that is going to be GG. There's no real way that I can see 120 losing this, except for if he makes some very drastic mistake. Death Knight now sitting at level 4, level 2 Unholy Aura, giving the Crypt Fiends regeneration, even if they are not on Blight, the same regeneration if it was going up against a Footman here. And that is the GG. Romantic losing game number 2, and making me wonder if there is a game number 3. I need to actually double check this. There is no game 3. So I guess for anyone who says, you know what, 2 games, I know who wins the first game, then I know who wins the second. Ha! In your face. You don't. This was a great game. Very well timed. And that Lich being out earlier, just 2-3 minutes earlier, that Frost Nova slowing down the Archmage was all the difference. Book of the Dead turning in, living up to its name. Book of Wind pressuring the human expansion, and that was that. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I was always thinking that tournaments, instead of doing best of 3, should always do 2 game set for, say, round robin play, if you beat your opponent 2-0, you get 3 points. If you tie your opponent 1-1, then you each get 1 point. That would be a very good way of determining standings, and then from there do best of 3 competition with brackets. I don't know if that's exactly what I believe the Ifengcup did in this particular situation. There could in fact be a game 3, except for it is lost in the masses. Regardless, it was a very, very entertaining game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 2. And, well, remember to like the video.